My mother told me she wouldn't cook me another dinner until I handed my room over to my sister and finally became a good son. So I printed out an eviction notice instead because that was my food and it was my house. I bought this house 3 years ago, paid cash. Every cent came from selling the audio company I built in my 20s, plus savings I never touched. My parents needed a place after my dad's hours got cut, so I moved them in. No rent. I cover the utilities, the property tax, the groceries, the internet, all of it. They chip in for gas sometimes. We made it work. I'm an audio engineer. I score ads and games from home. 6 figures, fully remote. The back bedroom is my studio. Acoustic panels on every wall. A treated vocal booth. Close to $40,000 in gear. It's not a bedroom to me. It's my income. Then 2 months ago, my younger sister Brooke calls. She and her fiance Cody are between places. My mom, without asking me, tells them to come stay. Family takes care of family. They show up 4 days later in a borrowed truck. First thing Cody says, dropping a duffel by the door. So, which room's ours? He's looking past me at the studio. The biggest room in the house. I laugh. Not that one. The guest room's down the hall. There's a real bed and everything. My mom steps in immediately. Don't be selfish. They're starting a life. They need the space more than your little music hobby does. Hobby. I look at my dad. He suddenly finds the floor very interesting. I remind everyone, calmly, that the room is where I make the money that pays for the food they eat, that I own this house outright, that my work lives in that room. My mom calls me cold. Brooke says I've always thought I was better than everyone. Cody just smirks. I tell them plainly, if anyone wants that room, I'll sell the house, take my studio, and they can all figure out rent on their own. That ends the conversation. They take the guest room. For a week it's tense but quiet. Then I leave for a dentist appointment and forget my wallet. I come back 20 minutes later and walk into my studio to find Cody unscrewing one of my acoustic panels off the wall. Brooke is stacking my mic stands in the hallway. My monitor speakers are already in a box. What are you doing in here? Cody doesn't even flinch. Your mom said this room makes more sense for us. You can set your stuff up in the garage, man. The garage. I start carrying their boxes straight out to the driveway. I pull the panel out of Cody's hands and set my gear back down myself. You have until 5 o'clock to get everything of yours out of this room, or I start putting it on the curb. Brooke bursts into tears and calls my mom. Then Cody calls my mom. My phone buzzes all afternoon. That evening, my dad sends a group text. Family meeting, living room, 7 p.m., everyone there. On the way home, I stop at the hardware store and buy a keyed handle lock for the studio door. When I get back, they're lined up on the couch like a panel of judges. Cody stands up the second I walk in and steps into my space, chest out, trying to make himself big. I'm 6 feet 2 inches. He's a head shorter. I put one hand flat on his chest and walk him backward until he drops onto the couch. The look on his face, small, in front of everyone, says he won't try that again. My dad starts soft. Look, they've got nothing. You've got plenty. Can't you just bend a little? Brooke is smirking now. I take a breath. I own this house, free and clear. I pay every bill in it. All of you live here because I let you. If you want that room, the two of you can start paying me $1,400 a month, or you can find your own place. My dad offers me $300. I tell him we're finished talking, and the next time anyone touches my gear, I'm done. Cody mutters that I'm a selfish nobody. I install the lock and go to bed. For a full day, everyone but my dad gives me the silent treatment. Suits me fine. Then I get home the next night, and there's dinner on the table. 4 plates, roast chicken, potatoes, the whole spread. It smells incredible. I look at my mom. Where's mine? She doesn't look up. I won't cook for you again until you give that room to your sister and start being a good son. My dad nods along, already eating. Every item on that table, I say, was bought with my card. I don't argue. I walk to the studio, sit down, and print 4 eviction notices. I come back and hand 2 to my parents. 30 days. Then I turn to Brooke and Cody. You two aren't on any lease, and you're not on the deed. You've got 60 minutes to pack what you can carry, or I call the police and report you for trespassing. My mom goes pale. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. I dial the non-emergency line and tell them I need to remove 2 people who won't leave my property. They say an officer is on the way to keep the peace. Cody and Brooke throw 2 bags together and are gone in 20 minutes. My parents drive off behind them to a motel. My mom knocks on my locked door and says she's sorry. I don't open it. It's almost midnight, and I'm sitting in the one room nobody could take from me, wondering if I just torched my whole family over a door.